We are not live.
Hello, my name's Ted Doan, Chair of the Point Pleasant Park Advisory Committee. Call the meeting to order at 4:32 p.m. And I'm going to start the meeting off with a land acknowledgement. So the Halifax Regional Municipality is located in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and traditional lands of the Mi'kmaq people. The municipality acknowledges the peace and friendship treaty signed in this territory, recognizes that we are all treaty people. So what I'd like to do is just do a roll call of who's on the call here. So there's myself, and I'll call for Councillor White.
Good afternoon.
Miles.
Hello, all.
Hi, Miles. Dinah.
Today.
Here, Dinah. Yep.
Yeah, hi, Dinah. Krish.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, and I have regrets from Elena and Sam, and I don't see Spencer or Michelle. So that is our roll call for everybody on this meeting. Now I'd like to move into the agenda for today's meeting and approval of the minutes. So before we approve the minutes, I just had a few edits to them myself. So there was a section, committee member updates, and there was the member update from myself at the last meeting. So I'd like to change a little bit of the wording. So where it says, Doan noted the need to renovate summer houses at the park to accommodate musical events. I'd like that to be changed to public events. The music was just used as an example. It says the need for the committee to discuss and assess the view planes of the park. Doan discussed scheduling another tour. I like that to say fortification tour of the park, which would involve the general public at a future date in August. The committee agreed to hold the ceremonial shilling event this summer, and that should actually read next summer. So those would be my edits to the minutes. Does anybody else have any feedback or edits? Okay, so what I'd like to do is have a mover and seconder to approve the minutes with the edits as outlined. So could I have a mover?
I can do that.
Okay, I'll second.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded. So I'll call for the all in favor of the motion to approve the minutes, say aye.
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 Contrary
Aye.
minded? Okay, so the minutes are approved. So the next thing is approval of the order of business and additions and deletions to the agenda. So do we have any changes to today's agenda from anybody? I'll ask our legislative assistant, are there any changes to the agenda?
No changes to the agenda.
Okay, and so I heard none from the committee members and none from our legislative assistant. So if there are no additions or deletions, we can proceed with the following motion. I'll invite a member of the committee to move that the agenda be approved as presented. So again, I'll need a mover and seconder. So I got Councillor White moving, and I need a seconder.
Second.
Dinah seconding. So all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Okay, motion is carried. Business arising out of the minutes, there's none. Now I'll call for a declaration conflict of interest. So if anybody has a conflict of interest to declare as a result of the agenda, please respond. Okay, so there's no conflicts of interest, so we'll just proceed as is. The consideration of deferred business, there is none. Correspondence, I'll ask the chair or ask the clerk, has any correspondence been received?
No correspondence received from the clerk's office.
Okay, we do get communications that come from people, but there's no formal correspondence. And some of the communication that we did see was people talking about the closure of the park and some of the decisions that were being made by HRM around the Sailors Memorial Way and around some of the woodlands and how things were being treated with respect to the closures. So I will ask around petitions to our clerk. Are there any petitions to be presented?
No petition received also from the clerk's office.
Okay, it's a quiet meeting this time. There's no presentations, no information items being brought forward. So what I'll do is I'll hand it over to Adam Cornick, who's our Superintendent Parks West, to speak on the to the committee about the operations memo that was previously circulated. So Adam, that's over to you.
Hey everybody, Ian's on vacation, so you have me today. So I'll give you a brief summary of what's been going on in the park. So as you know, the provincial wood ban has now been lifted. So we're back to normal operations like daily garbage and litter pickup, road and drainage upkeep, mowing and grass whipping, selective removal of invasive plants and species, and the repair and painting of benches and litter bins. We're continuing on with our work from July, where we were focusing on the removal of aging, hazardous, and invasive trees. At the same time, we were carrying out road and trail work, resurfacing footpaths and access points to reduce trip hazards, improve drainage, and keep conditions consistent within the park. So just to give you some information on what we were doing during the woods ban, we weren't just sitting around. We were actually doing some work as well. So during the woods ban, we were concentrating on repairing of certain infrastructure like benches, barriers, and culverts. We were also working to mitigate fire risks by hauling brush and piles and managing litter removal, which is quite important during those times. And we're also keeping our barricades and signage in place, which all should be removed now. In terms of staffing, just to give you an update there, our student hires are now finished with their contracts, but our seasonal staff will remain in place till the end of October. Just a few additional notes. So all the stay out of the woods signage and barricades should now be removed. If you guys do see any while you're walking around the park, feel free to call 311 so we can get some of those so that everything is updated within the park. Sally's Memorial Way has returned to the regular off-leash rules. So we're not keeping that on-leash part in, I guess, in effect now. So that's been lifted since the woods ban been lifted. So it's pretty much all the updates I have for you guys. Like I say, for a lot of August, 1000 Park was shut down. Besides for Sailors Memorial Way, so we didn't have a lot going on in there. But I'm happy to take any questions that you guys may have.
Great, thanks, Adam. So we'll open it up. I'll just go through. I have a list of the committee members here, and I will ask them. So I'll start off with Dinah. Did you want to ask the first question?
One question, Adam. I'm assuming that big fountain at the foot of Yonge Street, the water is supplied by the city. Is that correct? The operation of that fountain, is that controlled by the city?
I think it is. Yeah, I'd have to look it up to be sure. But
yeah, because I was kind of surprised where we had the water restrictions that fountain was off and running.
Yeah, that's not controlled by parks. Actually, it's controlled by facilities, so we don't have much in terms of operation.
And what
some water fountains are recycling water. They're not necessarily just using ongoing water. Sorry to interrupt, it's Michelle, but I don't know what the status of that one is, but some just recycle the same amount of water, and so it's not going to waste or anything. It's a set amount and then just recycles over and over.
I assume that. I was just curious about, since we had been talking about water sources, I was wondering where the source of that water is for the fountain in the park.
That I'm not sure of. I'd have to look into that for you to see where the actual source is of it. Like I say, we don't manage that one. It's done by facilities.
So maintaining the fountain, like if the fountain needs,
like restoration work and that kind of thing,
that's not covered under the park then.
We would bring it forward to facilities, and then they would.
Facilities.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'd be curious to know what the water source is and who controls that. If you could find that out, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great. Krish, did you have any questions?
Yeah, I guess I was wondering, Adam, are all the restrictions, all the wood bans have been lifted up from Point Pleasant Park, right?
Yep.
Okay, I was just that's good to know. I was just wondering too, is there any because I know unless I might be a little bit out of the loop, but October 15th was officially supposed to be, as at least last I heard, for all the wood ban to be lifted, but is there still any temporary precautions or anything else we put in place, especially for maybe special zones or areas where there's maybe areas that are more prone to fire risk?
Yeah, so any
case-
work we'd be doing within the woods we'd be looking at using special precautions and things like that, and making sure that we have water on hand and fire extinguishers on hand and all that stuff to ensure that in case anything happens, we're right there to tackle. Like, we're still being cautious. Like, we're not
Okay.
being irresponsible out there. Like, we're certainly taking the extra precautions to make sure that we don't cause a fire. Put it that way.
Very cool. Good to know. Thanks.
Thanks. Miles, did you have any questions?
No questions, and thank you for the report details.
Thanks, Miles. I'll go next to Councillor White. Did you have any questions?
I do. It feels like a bit of a sidebar because I'm coming from the minutes because I rushed off the last meeting to go to a police graduation. So Adam can answer or someone else. The summer houses? What is that in the park? What am I missing? Talking about summer houses for musical events.
I know you were talking about that.
And also just like with these things noted in the minutes, I'm just wondering if they're getting action. Or like, does Adam look at these things in the minute?
Yeah, I'll ask them.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not 100% sure where the summer houses are in Point Pleasant Park.
Those are the gazebos. So there's
Oh, the gazebos.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That was the formal name of them, is the summer houses.
Yeah. Okay.
When they were I guess donated and built in the park.
Okay, so no, I don't have any other questions other than not losing track of that and just to thank staff for managing that big lift with closing and opening the park.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle.
No, I don't think I have any questions. My apologies. I was driving, so I was off screen for a few minutes, and then I'm just walking into my yard now, and I'm trying to keep the dogs quiet while I'm on the phone. But no, I don't think I had any additional questions or issues or concerns.
Okay, thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.
I had some. So first of all, yeah, thank you to the Point Pleasant Park crew who've kind of kept things going through the closure and have kept the park looking as nice as it has this summer. I'd just like to ask a question. So around the closures, if it's not something we regularly experience. Do you feel like you're well prepared when the decision was made to close the park? And is there anything you'd do differently if that happened again?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's a situation you just have to be able to adapt to, right? It's, once the restrictions come out where, we got notice that they were closing the woods, you kind of got to start looking into what is that classified as? What does that mean? What does it mean to close the woods, right? And what does it actually mean to walk through the woods? So you need to go and assess, like, it's not just Point Pleasant Park, but you have to go and assess, say, Fort Needham and the Dingle and Regatta Point. So for us, it's just like we're kind of trying to adapt as we go. And like you say, we, you do your best you can, but I think we are adequately resourced and, did a pretty good job adapting to what the province threw at us for sure.
Okay. I'm sure that was a challenge with your summer students and your seasonal staff too, and trying to kind of shift them into different tasks. Okay, I had some other questions here too. So I was looking at some of the wall repairs that you've done this summer, and they look great. I noticed that a lot of it was around some of the openings where you come and go from the park, and the work looks great. Is there a plan to kind of continue that work over the next year into the other sections of the wall that are crumbling?
From an operational perspective, we'll probably do a little bit every year, but we're constrained on what our financial resources are. So we can only do what we can do within our operational budget. We have put it forward to capital, and they will be assessing it. Whether or not they'll decide to come in and do a large strip within the next couple of years, that's kind of based upon their assessment of it. So we'll wait and hear back from them.
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah, and like I said, the work that you've done looks wonderful.
Yeah. Unfortunately, within operations, like we have the ability to band-aid, but not fix the entire strip. Right.
Yeah, with the summer houses or the gazebos, what I see is they look pretty solid. It's just there's a lot of rusting and kind of really a facelift would help preserve them and kind of keep them going for another 100 years. So that would be great. One of the things that kind of came up in recent communications, and we heard it from some of our recent presenters too, and through our walk in the park, was around cleaning the snags. So these are the, the wood that's kind of not on the ground and not up high, but kind of the wood that's fallen and is more of a fire hazard than you'd normally see. And we've had recommendations to our committee about, kind of cleaning out some of those snags. And I'm just wondering if there's any plan by the park to kind of go through and identify where those areas are and clean some of those up.
Yeah, we'll be doing that within kind of over this season and next season. We'll be going and identifying some of those that we can clean up. We'll do what's within our capacity to do, So, yeah, it's within our radar. No, I'm not saying that it's going to be done this year, but hopefully in the next year we'll be starting action some of that stuff.
One of the things too you were doing was the pond, so that was getting kind of cleaned out. Could you speak to that? I'm not sure if that's been done or not, but can you speak to kind of the work that's happening there?
At the quarry pound?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're removing the silt and gravel. I'm not sure where they're to on that. I'll have to get back to you with when Ian gets back and if they did that or not.
Okay.
I think he did actually do it, to be honest.
I know as well there was a plan for a canteen and that had fallen through. So so for next year, would that again be in the plans to put that out for tender to look for a service provider?
Yeah, that's within the plans. It'll go to tender again. Hopefully, I would have liked to seen somebody do it this year, but unfortunately, once they get the tender, it's up to them whether they want to bring their truck there or not. So,
right,
it is a tender space, but they didn't either. They didn't get operational in time, or they decided that it wasn't feasible for them to operate there. I'm not sure.
I wonder if
I would think it would be feasible, right?
I wonder for next year's RFP if there could be some clauses in that to give them a timeline to kind of get started. Otherwise, someone else can take their spot.
Yeah, I mean, we can look into that and see if that's possible. It would be nice to have somebody down there, that's for sure.
Okay, and I did notice that movie crew was down in the main parking lot on the waterfront. They were, I think they were closing the gates themselves. So anyways, I don't know if they're supposed to do that, but it might be something you want to keep your eye on, because I know when I came in this morning, the gates were all shut to the park.
There is only certain sections that they're allowed to have. Like there should be a portion, like a strip along like the sea and stuff there along the ocean where people can park. So
anyways, I think people got it open, but it was anyways, that was the experience there.
They shouldn't be closing the gate, really. Because they don't have like certain areas they have exclusive use over, but not the whole parking lot. There's still some spaces that's supposed to be left open.
Okay, and that's all I had. Was there anything else from anyone else on the committee before we kind of move on?
No.
Just on your point about the movie crew that was there and that kind of thing, one of the things that I've always wondered is why there isn't a place where, we could have a monthly calendar of what's going on in the park. Because if there's special events booked, like races, Terry Fox Run is going to come up, a lot of the, schools that have their runs and that, as a member of the public, it'd be kind of nice to have some warning and say, oh, this is a day when, maybe I won't take my dog to the park, I'll go somewhere else. But there's nowhere, is there, where events are posted?
No, there's not. Usually it's like done through the person that's booking the park, their social media page or something like that. So, but obviously not everybody would be looking at their social media page.
What social media page would it be?
It would just be on, say, if whoever Citadel High books the park for a cross-country run, it would just be on the Citadel High. Right. Yeah.
So Point Pleasant Park doesn't have an official site because even, if it was a printout, monthly calendar that could be posted near the parking lot, at the entrance of both of the parking lots, just so that we can quickly say, oh, in the month of September, this is happening on whatever date. It would be kind of nice to have an overview of what's happening so people can plan.
Yeah,
that's a great idea. I like that.
Yeah. Well, even if it was on the city website would be nice so that, it might encourage people to go check out Point Pleasant Park on the city's website, which I don't think people do enough. People don't. The whole issue of following rules is is a whole cyclical thing. No one knows the rules, but no one enforces them anyway. So there's nowhere to turn to when something happens. So, but maybe if that would get seen more and people would know how to use the park, what the rules were surrounding the park, if there was a page that you could go to see what was happening in the park. I'm sure that it would be mostly used by regular park users as opposed to casual users. But yeah, my understanding historically from this group is that committee is that there's been a long before I got here, the issue about signage in the park was discussed, and minimizing signage and what kind of signage and where it goes and all that sort of thing. So I would say that that would kind of fall into that again. And there's not really, it's not like you can just go and post a new sign in the park. So it might be pushed by whoever makes that decision to have it be electronically based on the city's website rather than an actual physical sign at the park.
Yeah, that's something I'd have to look into to see if it's possible. I know like events are constantly changing, so what's posted may not always be correct, but I can certainly look into that and see if that's possible.
Okay, thanks, Adam.
Yeah.
Okay, for committee member updates, there's none. Added items to the agenda, none. And the date of the next meeting is November 6th. So I'll now ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll move that, Michelle.
Okay, thanks, Michelle.
Welcome.
I'll
So
second.
we've got the motion to adjourn. So thank you, everybody. That's
Take
all.
care.
Thanks so much, Tech.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.